And good morning. Good morning. We are live. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm Rabbi Brian. It says so right there on the screen. It is August 12th, 2023. I am joined, hold on. I have a bunch of people who are still joining in on Zoom. Let me put that up on the screen. There's some Zoom people. Zoom people wave, say hi.
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 And let me go back to this screen. This is a different type of Saturday morning service. This is a service. It's the type of service people would describe as. You didn't realize, but that was for one of you guys to fill in. This is the type of service people would describe as.
Non-church.
Interesting.
As interesting and non-church. It has a community atmosphere that some might say is, I want different voices though. It has a community atmosphere that some people might say is
open and accepting.
Supportive. We are likely in this service to
Fun.
May I add unorthodox?
We can add unorthodox. We are likely in this service to unorthodox. It's a weird sentence, but I'll go for it. But it's exactly, it's on brand. This is the type of service we are likely to unorthodox.
I'm not accidentally held.
Thanks be to God.
Topics that might be discussed include
Anything.
Your spiritual life.
perfect
The fact
answer.
that Rabbi is a flat earther starting today.
The
Love.
most unlikely things.
Love. I heard love. That's a good answer.
Let's just start the sentence again.
The rabbi who leads this service might be described in one word as
Working.
Cool.
That's not a bad word.
Marvelous.
Searching.
I like all those words. So thank you guys for sharing. This is an unorthodox way of doing a religious service. If you're new here, welcome. Glad that you're joining. My contention is that a religious service can be done without necessitating rote prayers, and that we can all be on the same page just by virtue of all of us being together. This is open. People's microphones are open. If you're not used to that, that's a little bit weird, and sometimes people do talk over each other a little bit. And I'm willing to do that because I think that the benefit outweighs the distraction. And the benefit of people having their microphones unmuted, some of the benefits of having people's microphones unmuted are
Learn respect for each other.
we learn respect for each other. Great answer. Keep going.
Spontaneity.
Spontaneity. Another advantage of the microphones being open is
You learn about each other.
we learn about each other. Yeah.
It keeps us alert.
It keeps us alert. The point of this,
More sharing.
more sharing. Great answers.
Yeah.
The point of this disruption. Yes, it's live. This is very live. I think religion is about, if we're doing religion right, religion's about being present. Religion's about the present. One of the names for God is presence. Is just being here. So that
Getting presents.
And we like getting presents. So let's getting presents right now. Take a moment. Getting presents right now. Take a moment. Look at the people on the screen.
The only time you have.
Yeah, look. There are people on the screen. Wave to each other. Say hi. This is real. We're present. We're alive. I just said I don't see Dan's face on the screen. I saw
Good
him
morning.
a moment ago, but I was at there's Dan. Hi, Dan. His son's wedding last Saturday. And I said at the wedding, I said, we're all been looking forward to this wedding. We've all been looking forward to this wedding. We've been looking forward to this wedding so much that it's as though we're tilted looking forward. I said, why don't we take a moment to stop, to be present? Let's take a moment to stop. That's what we're here to do. Take a moment, stop, be aware. That's the heart of a religious practice. So thank you for all being here.
Welcome.
We had some
Also,
homework.
I think it's a discipline.
It's a discipline. Is that what you said, Michael?
Yeah, I think that's what religion is, and this is a kind of discipline that resonates.
Yeah, we're doing a practice, but we're doing it.
Yeah,
we're doing it in a open, loose kind of way. I think that's where we learn the best, is where we're able to make mistakes, where we feel comfortable enough that we can. It's a practice. I said to somebody in the last week, I said, I do Shabbat, I do a Friday night ritual with my family, and we do it religiously. By which I mean, if we do it 40 out of 52 weeks a year, that's enough. We do it religiously, which means I'm forgiving about it. We do it religiously, which means I'm open and of good humor about it. I don't know where the word religiously started to take on the connotation of being monotonous. He works out religiously. Well, that doesn't sound like fun. I think if we're doing religion right, it should have a little bit of fun to it. So I thank you for joining and having a little bit of fun with me as we explore today. We had a question from last week. The question from last week was, why do we not treat ourselves with unconditional positive regard? What are the things that there are things that get in the way of us treating ourselves well? I have a picture. This is a picture drawn by my friend Luca. It's pretty terrible, isn't it?
No,
Horrific.
no, I love it.
No, seriously.
Looks just like you.
It is supposed to be me.
Well, that's what I said.
But I think it's a pretty terrible drawing.
How old is he?
He's about 3.
It's a wonderful drawing.
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Y'all know you're
You
getting...
got hair and everything.
Y'all know I'm setting you up here, right?
Oh, yeah.
How's that?
Y'all know where the other shoe's about to drop here.
that's your pick,
We're ready.
Yeah, give it to us.
self-portrait.
We all know how to be kind to Luca. And that we have no problem if Luca comes running up to you and goes, I made you a drawing. It's beautiful. We all know how to treat Luca. Why do we not treat ourselves? Why do we not treat ourselves as kindly as we know Luca treats himself? Why don't we treat ourselves?
Because we're older and supposedly wiser.
I love the way you said that, John. Because we're older, that's true, and supposedly wiser. Now, if the only evidence we have for us being wiser is that we're mean to ourselves, it would hardly seem the case.
Yeah. And we haven't learned to become disciples only to loving kindness.
How do we become disciples to love
like
and
that.
kindness?
Disciples of loving kindness.
How do we do that? How do we become disciples of loving kindness?
Working on it.
Practice.
Talking about it.
Live in the moment.
Go to therapy.
Yeah.
Practice it.
I think
And this is a cheap substitute for therapy.
Very.
We have to figure out how, either through therapy or something else, to get rid of all the negative stuff that we learned. Like last week was talking about how she learned as a child that how she was, but she wasn't.
Why? Where we picked up messages that we should not be kind to ourselves. Let's just sit with that for a moment. We all picked up messages that we ought not be kind to ourselves. We all picked up messages that we ought not to be kind to ourselves. That got ingrained in me.
You were born.
I was. And we were all perfect when we're born, and then we all got messages that we're only good if we're going pee-pee in the potty. We're only good if we don't make a mess.
Message.
Why do you think, what are reasons we don't give ourselves, what are reasons we don't be kind to ourselves? We're going to try some experiment today.
But not all people have that problem.
Well, we're going to test it out today. We're going to try, and I've never done this exercise with a group of people before. Let's see how it goes. Y'all ready?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, we're going to go into small group. Well, first, there are some things that are easy to be proud of ourselves for, and then there are some things that are harder for us to be proud of ourselves for. What are some of the things that are easier for us to be proud of? It's easy for us to be proud of blank. What's something you can be proud of, folks?
Breathing.
Give me another one. Breathing. What else?
Things that we make.
Well, give me let's not abstract it yet. Let's just start with ones like this. Hey, Meg, what's one thing you're proud of?
The way I do animal portraits.
Okay, so the way you do animal portraits.
In fabric.
Hey, Emily, what's one thing you're proud of yourself for?
I'm learning a new skill.
Can you tell us what that is?
I'm learning to knit.
Oh, great. Hey, Ray, can you tell us one thing that you're proud of?
Learning that I can't fix everything.
Oh, wow. Chad or Lisa, what the heck? You can say no. Is there something that either of you can tell us that you're proud of?
Setting and achieving goals. Currently in our house, we're working on a new music album. So setting and achieving goals in, personal hobbies.
I love it.
I'm proud of ability to think critically. Thinking critically.
Anyone see any of these on the list and think, yeah, I can imagine the reason. Anyone confused as to these all seem reasonable enough things to be proud of?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there, my thinking was that there's something that these might all have in common. And these are things that are easy enough to be proud of ourselves. These are accomplishments.
Yep.
These are all accomplishments.
Yep.
Are there things outside the topic of accomplishment that we can be proud of?
Yes, I learned it from my daughter yesterday.
What's that, Shmuley?
She's going to college and she's in the spectrum, and she was so acting so independent. She didn't even need me for anything, and I said, "I'm proud that you're so independent." And she said, Why aren't you proud of me for being me?"
Oh, yeah. Right?
Yep.
That hits exactly in, Shmuley. Thank you. Carol, you were about to say something.
I didn't think they were all about accomplishments. I thought the capacity to discover that there are things that you can't do is a tremendous accomplishment. Not an accomplishment, something to be proud of.
Learning that I can't fix everything is an outlier in that one.
Yes.
Yeah. The other one.
Huh.
So there's something different about learning a new skill. Learning how to knit is different than learning that I can't fix everything. They are different some things.
About learning to be yourself.
And that's what Shmuley's getting at. Right? Can we just learn to like ourselves for who we are, not for what we do?
Right.
I'm going to give a quick timeout here because my plan for what I thought was going to happen
Never goes according to plan.
and shitballs. Hey, Maria.
Yes.
Remember last week when I was so excited and I said, "Oh my God, I'm so thrilled to have figured out how we can get that service to work"?
Yes.
I'm glad you remember that too.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
Yeah. Folks, hold on one second.
What idea are you giving up?
Yeah, what up?
So, yeah. Hi.
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 You grew up.
I can see if I can salvage some of the airplane on the way down here.
Uh-oh.
Usually that's done when it hits the ground.
Yeah. I did hear I can stall with a joke is that you don't need a parachute to what's that sport called that people do?
Skydive.
Yeah, you don't need a
Diving?
parachute to skydive. You only need a parachute if you want to skydive a second time.
Right.
Okay, again, that was me just throwing out a joke to try to distract from where this went. So let me open the question up and see maybe we can.
Why did you circle this one?
Because it's out of sync.
It's an outlier.
It's not trickle down economics or anything, is it?
So I think I might see a thread here.
What do we fear?
My value in running this service is that it all hangs together. And I think I might be able to pull this one out.
You find out how strong your thread is.
Sounds like I think you want to do just the opposite, actually.
You were going to break us into small groups.
Oh, I know what my plan was.
Why don't you break us into small groups? We'll talk to each other about what we value.
You just want to
Right. It's
Okay.
just
So, Carol, I would like to do that, and I'm fighting with a itch I have that I don't want to put people in small groups without the topic defined. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to break you up into small groups.
And we'll define our own topic.
And we're going to go in groups of 5 for 6 minutes. Alex, can you get at the ready for that?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So here's how this goes, folks. We're going to go into small groups for 5 minutes with a 1 minute warning. And yeah. And we're going to see what happens.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Go
for it.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Let's dive in.
Go for it, Alex. Open up the rooms.
Okay, rooms are open.
Thank you.
And if you want to stay back, you stay back with me. I got a lot of frozen people on my screen.
Yeah, I think we've got quite a few that are away. All right, so I have a 5 minute timer running.
Great. And it looks like most people went to rooms. Look at that. All right. Hi, Patricia.
Oh, is this the introvert room?
Well, it sort of is, but the problem with the introvert room is it's so small, it's hard to hide. Glad that you're here. Clock, time, crawl. Hi, Roberta.
Hi.
Glad you're here. And Candace and April and Jean are all here. Boy, am I feeling the feels of, I'm feeling the feels of, and I know it's not true, but I have this story in my head of, boy, I'm letting down a lot of people right now. It's pressure I'm putting on me. I see where I get it. I can be in dialogue with it, but it's uncomfortable.
Why do you feel you're letting people down?
Because it's like I invited everyone to a party and I don't have any food or drinks.
Well, that's what I like about this party is that we all bring our own food and drinks.
Pretty much, yeah.
You just have to say, let's have a party, and we'll do it.
I think you're right about that. It is, boy, yeah, I'm putting a lot of pressure on me.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, you know what? Y'all can be responsible for your own enjoyment at the party. Well, that's interesting. I don't know where it all came apart for me. I had this whole thing so locked in. I feel like crying right now. I feel like crying because I get what you're saying, Patricia, that y'all bring the, like, I'm putting too much pressure on me and I could cry from the relief that I don't need to.
I once had to give a talk and I thought that it was just going to be a couple of people. And this was at our fellowship, AE Church. And I thought it was just going to be a couple of people because it was the middle of summer and I figured everybody was gone. The place was packed and I was speechless. And finally I said, I can't believe people are here. You know, I expected just my friends. And somebody said, we are all your friends.
Oh, I love that.
Well, needless to say, I couldn't go on. I let Mason do the rest of it. But see, even if you just showed up and said, let's have a party, we enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, that's the part, Patricia, that I'm hitting. that I'm really getting is, boy, I've been piling the pressure on me. And,
Well, and I think that what Patricia said too, that makes this really clear is, this started what, 3 years ago now. I mean, it's like we've been doing this so long, I forgot when we started doing it, because we've been doing it for forever almost.
More than
it seems
3
like,
years,
which is good. But there are groups of us who, independent of you, are meeting multiple. Sometimes some of us are meeting every day. Some of us are meeting several times a week. So, I think that that's very clear that what you've created is not just about the Rabbi Brian show. It's about the relationships that you fostered.
I got a 5-minute ding.
Got 12 seconds, but I'll go ahead and bring them back.
Thank you for saying. Weird. It's weird because it's just surprising, and
What, that you're human?
It's the depth to which I'm human. It's the depth. Gosh darn it. Okay. Jane said to me, "What are you talking about today?" And I said, "Self-compassion." And here I am having to actually learn that for real.
I think it's something you practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, am I gonna end today with more self-compassion than? Right, you're absolutely right, Sari. It's just, yeah.
Well, our group's been cut off. Is everybody back?
Everyone's coming back. Alex, they're all coming back. Something seems.
Oh, they're all back. Yes, they're back.
But I'm missing a lot of videos. Okay, there it's coming back.
We have 35 people.
You too.
Okay, hi people. Well, here's what's great is I have no idea what you learned. So I would love to hear so we can share and we can reinforce the learning from the people who learned it, and then maybe somebody else can learn from what your group learned. But what's something that you learned in the last? What's something you learned in the last little bit? What's something that you just learned in that little 5 minutes we had? Is there something you learned you want to share?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Emily's doing okay.
Good to hear.
Yes. One of the buckles of my heart.
Say it again, Emily.
I have to acknowledge, and I did it in the chat, because I have to say it, get it out of my mouth to deal with it. And that is, I'm depressed. And that's just the way I am right now. Mm-hmm. And I don't want anybody to know it.
You did not want anyone to know it.
I don't want anybody to know it, but I have to say it anyway.
Emily,
if I get
you just
don't want
told us.
anyone to do anything for you.
No, I don't want anybody to do anything.
Okay,
that's right.
You just wanted us to know.
I don't want anybody to cheer me up.
Okay, we're not going to.
But you don't mind if you tell anyone. You just don't want them to do anything for you.
Right.
Can I just say that I think you're lovable?
Oh no, that's doing something about it. So let's
do that. Not allowed.
Not allowed. We're gonna. But thank you. This is how we learn. It's
okay. And then she wanted to expose herself.
Okay, let me hear from some other groups as well. What did you learn? What came up?
I learned that it's good to take a break.
Amen.
think I'm gonna go watch soccer.
Okay.
I came in late and I had not caught up with what the purpose of this conversation is.
Oh, Rita, you're not the only one, honey. This one, the Lost gets started up at the top.
That's right.
So, Rita, I got a little bit lost and my plan went sideways. And then I started to feel awfully responsible for everyone. Like I invited everyone to a party, but I didn't have food or drink. And then it was pointed out to me that the people are the party.
Right. We had a good time anyways.
And so we went into small groups without a topic.
Really?
And just to see if people could connect to each other and to see what learning came out of it. And so that might be why you were a little bit confused when you came in. Is
because the rabbi's confused.
And I hit real, speaking of on topic of learning to be compassionate to myself, of I don't have to bring it. It's not on me. I'm not responsible for y'all's. I can set the stage, I can set the room, but you guys are adults. So that's where we were, Rita, is trying to figure out what did people learn in the 5 minutes they were in their groups. So is there another group that has something that they learned, or somebody else who's got something that they learned?
I think that when you get to a certain age, you get more and more accepting of yourself.
Yeah, well, I like
that.
Yes.
That's
yes.
Thank you for saying that, Carol. And here's a question that I have. At the end of the day, are you going to go to bed more accepting of yourself? Question mark.
That's a good.
Yes.
Are you going to go to bed today having been slightly kinder to yourself? And this was the quote we had last week or the week before. It said this: when people talk about traveling to the past, they worry about radically changing the present by doing something small, but barely anyone in the present When people talk about traveling to the past, they worry about radically changing the present by doing something small, right? You go back in time, you don't want to do anything because it can mess up the future. But rarely anyone in the present thinks that they can do radically small. They can radically change the future by doing something small. When people talk about traveling to the past, they worry about radically changing the present by doing something small. But barely anyone in the present really thinks that they can radically change the future by doing something small.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
what's that thing that's small that you're going to do that's going to radically change the future? My suggestion is it's being kind to yourself.
Yeah. Yes. After
with Emily, I just wanted to listen.
Thank you, Rob.
Yes.
And we got through it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Shmuel.
No, after going through COVID recently, that's one thing that I learned, to take things slower, to take care of myself more, to just take life as it is. Hey, I had COVID. I couldn't do anything else. And I'm still going through the sequel. I just woke up, looked at the watch and said, hey, it's 11 here in Puerto Rico. The service is up. So let's go to the service.
Yeah.
Who
else has got a commitment how about a commitment for the next 26 minutes to be kind to yourself?
Just
to
listen.
Be accepting of yourself.
Nice and listen, Dopey.
Yeah. I get a little towards sad when I realize how little there is for me to do.
Can you say more about that?
Yeah.
Thank you for asking, Meg. I don't know exactly why, but when I think about the fact that I don't need to run this show, I don't need to run the service that the service is y'all being here. I don't know, that I don't need to work so hard makes me feel really sad. That I'm not
You've done a good job. You have done a good job. You've raised the children. You've taken the training wheels off the bike.
Yeah.
Be proud of what you've done.
You know, a powerful ingredient only takes a little bit of it.
I love the way you say that, Betsy. Thank you, and thank you, Patricia. So let me try this. What I was going to have people do was go into the groups and write down 3 things. One thing's that something that you're proud of that you have no problem telling people you're proud of. Second thing was going to be a medium-sized thing that you were on the fence about telling people you're proud of. And the third was going to be something that you didn't have to share with anyone. It was something that you're so proud of, but you don't want to tell anyone about. And that was what I was going to send us to groups to do. And I'm feeling like I need to tell you the thing that I'm really proud of that I don't want to tell anyone I'm proud of.
Please.
Go for it.
What?
Okay,
I have this manuscript that I've written, this 65,000 word manuscript. And is it perfect? Is it done? No, but it's 90-something% done. And it's beautiful. And I'm really proud of it. And I'm hesitant to tell you that I'm really, really proud of my book. I think it's amazing. And I'm really, really hesitant to tell you that I'm proud of running this religion outside the box and having had a different vision of how to do religion. It's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It is,
And I'm really
let me
well, hold on.
Okay.
I'm so real time, honest, real talk. I feel like throwing up telling you. I do. And Jack, I thank you. I thank you for laughing at me. I thank you for your laugh. That helps. I'd feel like, and we talked a little bit before the service, before 8 o'clock began, that, you know, if you're really proud of something, pride cometh before the fall. And that's a really fancy phrase, so that it means that it's really true. That the more proud you are of something, the harder it's going to hit you on the flip side. Like there's that dictum, and like that's got to be true. I believe it, that the bigger you are, the harder you fall, and I don't want to believe that.
Well, I think being big about it leads towards arrogance.
I don't want to do that, but I have written.
Yeah. So at the same time, I am proud of knowing you.
I don't know what the hell that means, Jack.
That's just, I'm proud of knowing you. That's all it means.
Okay.
I'm happy to know you. So
I'm happy to know you too.
Yeah, and pride comes with a feeling of okayness, that you're okay and I'm okay.
I like the way that Betsy says it, is that a little bit goes a long way.
Exactly.
And I think that might help sew it up there, right? That it's not odious because it's powerful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't stink everything up because it only needs a little bit. Oh my gosh, I got so many people have their hands up who want to say something. Yeah, let's quickly go through John, Bob, Shmuley, Ann.
I put my hand up when you, in response to your thing about what are you doing in the next 26 minutes to make yourself proud?
Yeah, what do you got?
I'm attending this service.
Yeah.
It feels really good. This is uplifting and makes me, the whole thing makes me feel good about what I'm doing and about myself and
I love that.
being with all the other people.
Thank you, John. Simple enough. Simple enough. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, I guess I have a problem with changing the past or changing the future, because I don't know. I certainly know that I can't change the past because it's already been there. As far as the future is concerned, I don't know whether the factors are going to be in there, and I can't change that because it hasn't happened yet. The only thing that I can do right now is do the best that I can right now and make decisions based on what I did in the past and what I might do differently. But I don't think that I can change anything about that.
Well, they do say it's never too late to have a happy childhood.
Yeah.
Right.
You need to read a little bit more science fiction, Bob.
Thank you, Bob. Thanks, Betsy. Shmuley, what do you got, bud?
Well, one thing that makes me happy to be in the group is that I've learned to take my spirituality more. Well, I feel more free in my spirituality, and I don't know. It's not that I'm going to throw the religious things that I do out the window, but now I see them in a more mature way that and that makes me proud of myself, because before I was so rigid in so many things. So
I'm glad.
So I thank you for the service.
You're welcome, Shmuley. I'm glad. Stay open. What do you got, Ann?
In various leadership programs that I've been in, I have learned that the most important action that a leader can take is to create and hold a space where everyone else can bloom and can be their authentic selves.
Amen.
And can grow. So the most important thing you do is hold and create a space for all the rest of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
I vote for that.
Okay. And you know what? I can hold and I can be proud of that. And I don't have the feeling like being proud of that is odious and smells badly. And I'm glad to use my skill. Let me go, John. You've dipped in a bunch of times. You have a need, Michael, and then Rita.
Very quickly, just a reassurance that you're not alone in your success.
Oh, I love that. Thank you, Michael.
And you're on the shoulders of some a lineage of people who have the capacity to do what you're doing.
Right. And thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Odd juxtaposition with the automated voice there. Rita.
Well, I just wanted to say this: religion outside the box is the only religious or whatever spiritual religious group that I've ever been part of. I never went to anything when I was growing up or after. And I thank you for creating a space that I could feel comfortable in and allowing me to meet people that I could talk about spiritual things and feel accepted.
I love that. I love that.
And you did that.
Thank
I mean,
you, yeah. So I take in the compliments and thank you.
Rabbi, I think there's a message in the chat that you should be aware of right now. Okay. Paradoxicality. Rabbi Brian did not mess up the service. He is really taking us where he wants us to go.
Okay.
You want us to take our spirituality as adults.
Yes.
And by quote unquote messing up the service today, you made us do that. You allowed us to shine. So thank you.
You're welcome. Let me ask
That's
another
like
question.
outside the box.
Let me ask another
Outside the
question.
box.
Time out. How many of you have compassion for me at this time? No.
Always.
Okay.
Really?
Slow down. Can you be willing? And this would be a great gift to me, to the world. Would you be willing to have as much compassion for yourself today that you have for me in my messing up?
I'll try.
I love that, Meg. I'll try.
Yes, I will.
Let's try. Let's try to be compassionate. I got a few announcements to make, and if you would like to talk about the God word, we have a Shekinah group that does that. If you would like to join in other people in the Religion Outside the Box Clubhouse, you can do that at rotb.org and make your way over to the clubhouse from there. We are trying to get people to put their pins in where they live in the clubhouse so you can see who lives nearby you.
That never takes.
Please do that. Do I have anybody who lives in Prince Edward Island on this call? I'm needing a favor.
There.
Needing a favor there. We'll figure that out elsewhere. After this, in 10 minutes time, we break into other groups. I need somebody to volunteer to be our poet laureate today. Somebody to run the poetry room. Can I get a volunteer? Someone who usually goes to the poetry room who's willing. Thank you, Jack, for doing that. And the deep dive room. I need somebody to volunteer. Thank you, Meg, for running that. There's also going to be a chit chat room. And here's something very interesting is, John, by mistake last week, you and another member wound up in a room. You were with me and then you wound up in a room, just the two of you. And it was random. And you had a lovely conversation for an hour plus just with the one other person. If you would like to do a random, and there's an empty room, if you see that on the list there's a room and it's got one person in it, be the second person in that room. Join another room, go do something different, make a relationship with somebody, just open up, see what happens. Emily.
What?
I got this message today. It's okay to
not
be
okay to be
It's-
okay. And I
it's-
thought of that very thing this morning when I realized I was depressed.
It's okay
Yeah.
to not be okay. That is always important. I got
Thank
a
you.
note back from our friend Charles. This is from Charles. He got all the cards from people, the happy birthday cards. So thank you so much for sending them.
I got a personal thank you from Charles.
Oh, wonderful. So if you, Alex will put up James's address. If you've never written a postcard to James, I got to tell you, just as a spiritual exercise, writing to somebody in prison has a way of elongating your sense of reality. I mean, it's a thing to do. If you'd like to, a wonderful pen pal, James is there. He's not going anywhere. Let's do prayer time. What do you have, Maria?
This is the list for our today. Lucy's dad, Joe, Elaine, Frank, Eloise, Athena, Adam, Kathleen, the Feldmans, and all the residents and visitors on Maui, Rob B., Randall M., Chris M., Patty and Caitlin, and Sean and Deanne, If there is another person in our community we can offer light and love to, please put their name in the chat and I will add them to the list in the clubhouse. And for the people who aren't named, but who are in our thoughts, we send them light and love as well.
Well, thank you, Maria. We're going to take a minute at a time, starting around now. All right. Thank you, guys. I have a thought that I wanted to share. So first of all, next Saturday, I'm not going to be here. Afia is going to be running the service, and I am sure that that's going to be an extra blessing to everyone. You know how much I adore her, and I'm so thrilled that she's willing to help out. I can't be here next week, and so she will be. That's going to be a very special service. So please, if you can, show up then. And here's a thought that I have. My book agent, I was working with a book agent, and that fell through. So right now I'm in between book agents, and it feels very much like, you know, those old, like Parcheesi, you know, the games, and then all of a sudden somebody lands on your spot and you have to go all the way back to the beginning. I feel a little bit like that Parcheesi move has just happened. The agent with whom I had been working is no longer available, and I'm back a few moves. And I realized that there was a phrase in my head, which is this.
My way.
Right away.
Right away.
Is that I have this sense that reality should go my way right away.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right away.
And something about, you know, that record skip moment where I went, what? I don't know where this message came into my head so strong that things should go my way right away. But there's something about realizing that that this tune is playing in my head. There's something about hearing that where there's something about hearing it that takes away a little bit of its power. Or I can go my way right away. What are you, nuts? What, do you really expect everything to go your way immediately? And the answer is yeah, I kind of do. And I think the laughter I'm getting is because you know you have the same problem too.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I mean that's the primitive. That's what the baby thinks, and the adult is picking at the baby for being that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It probably comes from a place of privilege as well.
My way right away.
That's right.
It is a privileged position.
Well, not if everybody's feeling that way.
We're in deep trouble if everyone's feeling this way. We make fun of people who are acting this way.
Yeah. The road to
Good
chaos.
for another service. Good
Road
topic.
to chaos.
Yeah.
A lot of people never grow up.
A lot of people still hold on to my way right away.
Mine.
Yeah.
An old friend of mine, John Lilly, said, always try to keep in the center of the cyclone.
Right.
Delicate belt.
I'm going to give this for us to contemplate and to think about and to see when you notice this in your own head. When do you see in your head this idea of my way right away?
10 times a day.
Many times a day. Yeah.
Every time my new electric wheelchair bumps into some piece of furniture or breaks something. I mean, I'm trying to learn about a joystick, and I'm not. And
a little bit of patience would go a long way.
Yeah.
And learning to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
And what was that? Say that again, please.
Learning to laugh at life as it happens, as things keep happening, not my way, not right away.
Yeah.
Little extra compassion. So here's this part. The little thing that we can do, something small in the present that will radically change the future. Being kind to ourselves, especially when things aren't happening my way right away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either that or fighting life, and you can't do that because life is going to go anyways the way it goes.
So let me make I'm gonna make a request. In this next week, be kind to yourself. Be present to yourself. And let's see what small change that makes on the rest of the world. I'm going to sign us off on this recording. So let's go back and here's all the people on Zoom. Everyone, let's wave goodbye to all the people who are there. Goodbye, Facebook. Goodbye, YouTube.
Adios, y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.